Hello friends, my name is Sanjay Kumar and I am a certified risk management professional from Institute of Risk Management London. I shared my previous video on fundamentals of risk management, which I am sure you must have enjoyed. Today I am going to talk upon the risk appetite, and risk appetite is something which is not perhaps well understood by many people, and I'm trying to make it as simple as possible in this video. So let's look at each topic. Let's take a very commonsensical approach to the concept of risk appetite, and I always believe that common sense is the best way to approach any problem. So let's ask a very fundamental question: what is appetite? And as we see that appetite is generally linked to hunger, desire for a food. When you're hungry, you want to have food. So it indicates that hunger is something which is required by the individual. Now the next question we shall ask is, what if the appetite or the hunger is not satisfied? If hunger or the appetite is not satisfied, there will be definitely a need to eat more. There will be desire to eat more. There could be a chance that if it is a sustained hunger happens or sustained lack of appetite is satisfied, there could be a weakness to the individual, and if it is done for a very long period of time, then the strength of the body may get reduced. So appetite has got definitely something linkage with the function of the body. So this is a very important statement to understand, that appetite has a linkage to the strength of the body. Now the next question is, what is risk? And as we have seen in our previous presentation in the fundamentals of risk management, that risk has got two very important ingredients. One is the future and second is the objective. And it is the future that creates the uncertainty. And in terms of the full definition of risk, it is the uncertainty of the future that may impede achieving the objective. That's basically the risk is. Now if we translate this to the slightly in a mathematical way, it means that if we have a normal distribution and x bar is the mean, the question is that everyone would like to attain the mean because that is the objective. Now the question is that how away from that mean you can be, and whether it can be one standard deviation or two standard deviation. That's what is the risk, is that how much you are away from mean, and that's what it means the risk is. Now come the key question: what is risk appetite? So as we have seen that risk is that how much away you can be from the mean, and this is the maximum acceptable standard deviation from the mean. So the risk is that how much away you are from the mean, and how away you are will not be same for every people. It is just in the same way that every people cannot have the same appetite of the food. Some people eat two pieces of bread, and some people can eat 10 pieces of bread. And this all depend upon the size of the stomach the individual has. And similarly, if we link it with a risk, it means that how much money the person has got to sustain the ability. So risk appetite is basically the maximum loss that an individual can bear to do a business. That's what the risk appetite is. So, the way hunger is linked to the bodily strength, that's the impact. Similarly, risk appetite is linked to ability to attain the maximum return, because the way if there is a sustained hunger leads to weakness in the body. Similarly, if the company is not utilizing the full appetite, full value of the capital that it has got, the return on the capital will not come. So it can be linked in both the ways. One is that how much risk you can take, what is your ability to take, and second is if you have an ability to take more risk and it is within your appetite, then you should take it, and then you have to maximize the return. That's what fundamentally is the risk appetite is all about. Now, how it started? It actually started in JP Morgan, and his CEO used to have 415 evening report. It used to be called as 415 report, and this report used to tell that whether the company has got sufficient money to withstand the next day loss. What it meant that if we have got the historic losses and the average historic losses there, and if we keep that much of capital for the next day, that much of money for the next day, we can able to sustain the next day. And if you want to utilize your risk appetite, you can add the standard deviation into your mean, and then if you have got that much of money, say x bar plus one standard deviation of money is with you, and that is your appetite, it means that the worst situation is that in that case, if that happened tomorrow, you will able to sustain. And that's how it all started with the risk appetite, and the statistical tool that is used for the calculation purpose is value at risk methodology, and that uses the concept of the time. And in the 415 report, the time was 1 day, and it is used also what is the probability. So you have to be whether 95% sure or 99% sure, and accordingly you can calculate that how much capital you need to keep to sustain 1 day. And similarly for the organizations, the period can be 6 months, 1 year. Generally it is used for the purpose of solvency, and this is taken as 1 year period. Risk appetite need not be always quantitative in nature or in terms of number. Risk appetite can be qualitative also. So it can be a statement which the company can prepare and live to that statement. For example, the company can define that their risk appetite is zero tolerance for regulatory breaches, or the company cannot afford reputational loss. So it is just a statement. Whereas a company can also define risk appetite in terms of a number. For example, that's a maximum loss that they can bear in a year, or this is the maximum capital that they can use to write a business. So it is possible, and generally in a practical term, risk appetite is defined as a combination of qualitative and quantitative numbers. In this slide, we look at the application of risk appetite in the risk management area. So risk appetite can be used for the decision making purpose, and this is because that any decision that the company is taking, the output of that decision should stay within the risk appetite that the company has defined. So if 2 standard deviation from the mean is the risk appetite, then the new decision that the company is taking should not cross 2 standard deviation. So risk appetite is a very good tool in a decision making purpose. Also, when the company is doing the business during the course of the year, they can continuously monitor their position of risk appetite and whether at any time they are getting very any close to breaching the risk appetite. So this can act as an early warning signal if a company is regularly monitoring their risk appetite. In the combination of stress and scenario testing, uh, risk appetite can be used in conjunction. For example, the key assumptions can be stressed while doing the calculation and see the output. And we have to see that the output that is coming is within, say, 2 standard deviation, which is the appetite of the company. And if you find that the stress scenario is taking you beyond the 2 standard deviation, it means that you have to think about the decision making, that in a particular scenario, if that scenario happens, then it's going to breach your risk appetite. So risk appetite, and along with the SST, stress and scenario testing, it can be used as a very good early warning signal for the organization. So risk appetite is a very good risk management tool, and it can be used in conjunction with different existing risk management other tools. So this is the key application of the risk appetite in the context of risk management. Thanks for watching this risk appetite video, and you can contact me either through email or through the call or the WhatsApp, right? I would request you that you can send me the feedbacks, and you can also subscribe to this channel so that whenever the new video comes, you will get the notification. This is a very fundamental video presentation on risk appetite. There is a lot there in the detail for the application purpose, and the application risk appetite is quite a lot. If you want that more detailed presentation or the application of risk appetite in the area of the business, you can contact me, and I can tailor the requirement accordingly based on the business requirement. Thanks you, and keep watching.